Hi, hello everyone. My name is Paula. I'm here with Enrique, which is today's speaker. We were getting ready for today's event, so please let me know if you can hear me correctly, if you can see us correctly. My colleague Raquel from yesterday and Monday's event told me that some of you were having problems with the audio or the image. So please make sure that you're watching this in Chrome if you can, because it works a little bit faster. If you have never had issues, don't worry, just enjoy the webinar, okay? So we were watching all of you chatting while we were getting ready, and we've noticed that a lot of people are watching us from different parts of the world. That's really, really cool. So just super short introduction. I know that most of you have attended the webinar on Monday and Tuesday, but my name is Paula. I work in Ironhack. I'm part of the marketing team, and I also organize events, and I'm part of the community team. So today we're here celebrating the Cybersecurity Week. This is the third event of the week. We have a really special guest with us today, which I'm going to talk more about now. But just super quick, Ironhack is a tech school. We do bootcamps and part-time courses in UX UI design, web development, data analytics, and now cybersecurity. And we are in 9 campuses all around the globe and also in remote. So it's really cool to see that you're all spread around the world too. And for today's event, we're going to be talking about how to become the hacker of the future. Enrique is going to give you a little bit of tips about it. And he's going to demystify a little bit the image or like the profession of the hacker, which I think like a lot of us sometimes think that it's kind of like a mythological animal. So it's going to be really interesting. Enrique is the CEO and founder of Hackrocks, which is a really cool learning platform, and he's going to talk more about it. And he has an amazing background in cybersecurity. He has done a lot of things for a lot of different companies. So without further ado, I'm going to let him introduce. But really quick, just a little bit of rules about Crowdcast. Down below in the menu, you're going to see something that it's called Ask a Question. And there you can put all the questions you have while Enrique or myself are explaining something. If you have a question, please put it there, because a lot of you are talking in the chat, and if you're making questions, maybe we get lost or we don't see it, and maybe we are not able to reply to it. So put it in the Ask a Question below, and we'll be replying to it during the event. Also, super quick, we have placed some polls asking, for example, if you attended some webinars before, and also if you want to become a hacker or not. So leave the votes there, and we'll be sharing the results and talking about it later. And that's it for me today. I'm going to let Enrique introduce himself, and hope you enjoy the webinar.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you very much. And thank you, Ironhack, as well, for this invitation. It's great to be here with you today. And thank you for all the attendees, because I can see that there are people from so many countries all around the globe and so many languages as well. And thank you as well for being there. So first of all, around 51% of you would like to be hacker in the future. So that's very cool. And actually, I would like to know why 7 people have voted that they definitely not would like to be hacker. And that's interesting. We are going to talk about this on this conference. And to start, I'm going to share my screen. So over here, okay, sharing, and now. Can you, Paula, please confirm that you can see right now the Hackrocks presentation? Yes, looked like. Awesome. All right, correct?
Yes, all good.
Perfect, thank you very much. So moving on, I am Enrique Serrano Aparicio, founder and CEO at Hackrocks, and we are going to talk today about this title, Becoming the Hacker of the Future. So let me introduce myself a bit now in the beginning. May some of you know me because some TV shows that we have in Spain and also in South America, like Cazadores de Trolls, or in English, Troll Hunters. This is something similar to Catfish, the MTV show, and this was in the national TV in Spain. The thing that we made here was to find or to locate trolls that are trolling other people on internet and trying to date with some people, basically do it bad things. And here I was the tech guy, and I had to make some stuff, something related with hacking, but also with information that all of us has on internet. Okay. Also, I am the co-founder of Mundo Hacker. Mundo Hacker, we are a community, and because we started off around 15 years ago. I remember I was like 14, and I was alone at home in Madrid in a very hot summer. And I remember that all my friends were at the beach and at that moment, and I was saying, "What can I do now? I have my laptop." This was before the year 2000, and around 2000 actually. And I was with my laptop, and I was asking, and I was wondering, why if I click over an icon, why if I open this website, this is working? How is this possible? Who made these magic works? And I remember that I said, I would like to know, and I would like to learn how to make this possible and to create my own websites, to create my own programs. And that's what I did. I started to program several programming boot camps to just to learn how to make new apps. And once I knew how to develop these kind of things, I said, wait a minute. If I can develop an app that take pictures, if I can develop an app that is connected to other apps, to other devices, why can I know how to connect to my friends' devices? At the end, all of us are connected. All of us has a camera. Is that complicated to spy people through the camera? I was 14. This was just to learn, just to play. So we created this community, Mundo Hacker. We are around 4 or 5 people, and every Friday from since I don't know around for we have been having these kind of weekly meetings, and every, every Friday from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. just to hack, just to teach each other new possibilities, new ways to hack, always with the purpose to learn, to to pass new challenges, and to beat ourselves to new stuff. So after that, Discovery Channel called to our team and said, "Why don't you show this on TV?" So we started to hack with hidden cameras on Spain and South America on the street, literally on the street, with some cheats, with some apps, fake apps, bogus websites, and these kind of things. And it was incredible. I really like it. And that's why I made a TEDx talk. The TEDx talk was related about the need of having hackers in the society, having hackers that protect others against the cyber criminals. You have it on YouTube, by the way. And now I am the CEO of Hackrocks. Before, I was 6 years in IBM, actually in IBM security. And the last year and a half, for the last 2 years, I was in the team, the IBM X-Force. That team is in Boston. We were travel all around the world with a truck, and it was super cool. And we were teaching to the companies how to react to a cyber attack, because sometimes we are training how to respond in case of fire, in case of emergency, a health emergency. But what about the cybersecurity? And actually, I can make this question to you. Do you know what to do if in your company, suddenly your laptop is hacked? What would be your next step? The first one, would you call to your manager? Would you turn off your laptop? What would you do? After that, I was in Simulate. Simulate is a startup. They are from Israel, and we perform cyber attacks on demand for companies with a very unique software. So we hack companies on purpose to discover and to test all the security measures that they have in a continuous way. And by the way, Stop Haters is a non-profit where we help people to solve these things related with troll hunters. When you have someone that is stalking to you in a very bad way, publishing bad comments, and that stuff. By the way, in the troll hunters, this was me in a black van, hacking and trying to locate to the bad guys. And this was my actual office. In my last year, the X-Force Command had that office, that was an actual track. And inside this track, we had this room. So inside this room, we had our clients, our students from several universities and schools from the North America and also from Europe. And we performed this kind of scenarios to train what to do in case that you have been hacked. Okay. Some of you are asking X4 Red. No, this was the X-Force CTOC. I'm going to put it in the chat. I would like to have this conversation in an interactive way. So this was the IBM X-Force CTOC. You can find it. There you go. This was amazing because here we had several scenarios. We have very technical scenarios for IT people and not that technical scenarios for more executive people, how to respond, how to talk with the press if you have been hacked, and these kind of things. It was super cool. And actually with Simulit as well, I was actually the last year I was in Boston, I was in New York City several months, and I was traveling all around Europe, discovering how different cultures are responding to cyber attacks, how different cultures are prepared or not prepared to respond to a cyber attack. It was very, very interesting. And here, moving on, yep. I'm going to talk to you about the evolution of the cybersecurity and how I learned cybersecurity, because I guess that if you are here today is because in a way you would like to learn a bit more about cybersecurity. So in the 90s, I was very young, but it's true that it was easier to hack because if you talk to someone about a firewall, about antivirus based on behaviors, artificial intelligence, and that stuff, no one was talking about that in that period of time. And it's true that it was easier because in some cases, actually, even in your home, your router didn't have any firewall. It was directly a connection to your house. And if I was calling to you and you were in another call, okay, I know that you are there. I can wait, and or if you hang up, I can try to hack you later. It was different ways of hacking. Actually, it was much easier in the companies as well. And we are not going to talk about the CISOs or the CIOs. That was another thing, another stuff, right? It's true as well that the companies didn't have all the information that they have right now. So, I mean, on the laptops, on the cloud, and that stuff. So it's true that it was easier to hack, but not all the information was digital. Okay, but keep moving. What about the year 2000, around 2000-ish? What about the CISOs, the CISOs, no? This position in the companies? They are the responsible for the information security, but is this exist? The antivirus detected that if you want to stop a malware, in some cases, if you have the malware, a copy of them, a sample, you can detect it in other laptops. But what about the new malware that is coming up every day? They were figuring out how to solve the situations, and they discovered that instead of having only the sample of the malware, why not we learn how this malware is working? So every time that a malware is trying to access to the registry of the Windows, every time that the malware is trying to encrypt information, red flag, trigger an alert and say something. So that started around the year 2000, but it's true that you can or you needed to define some rules. I mean, if I was an antivirus, a machine, how can I know that that is dangerous? And that's the key. We need to teach the machine that this is dangerous and this isn't. But in the beginning, without any artificial intelligence, without any machine learning, this was very complicated and very manual. You had to configure directly. Every time that this malware or this file is doing this, I have to respond doing this. Literally like that, hundreds and hundreds of lines of different rules that one guy was defining one by one, typing everyone. So that was not a mess. That was very a lot of time and not very efficient. Okay. And by the way, at this year, it's true that the people are starting to talk about the next generation firewalls or next level firewalls, something like that. These firewalls was something else, like everything together. You could have something like an antivirus, a firewall, and another security measures all together in a black box. And that was very trendy. If you had that box, you felt comfortable, you felt safe, and that was That was enough in a way in the companies. And if we go to 2010, everything changed a bit. And actually, I remember in 2006 or 2007 is where we created Mundo Hacker. And imagine that you are a cyber criminal, you are trying to hack someone, and the police knock your door. Before this year, for instance, in Spain, we didn't have enough rules to put you directly in jail. But this changed in the year 2011, around or something like that. Why? Because the laws changed a bit, saying that hey, we have a new world. We have the physical world and the digital world. How can we make something similar regarding law with something that we had in the history? So that changed, and it's true that now and in several countries, this is more and more and more under control. Before this year, it was very complicated to have or to be in trouble because of hacking. And by the way, this year was key as well around the companies. In the past, it's true that we have the CIO, the Chief Information Officer, and now the Chief Information Security Officer directly reporting to the CEO at the same level, CIO and CISO. This was a change in the companies, this change in the organization, in the hierarchies. And this changed a lot because if you are at the same level, you take decisions, you say no or you say yes to several configurations in your company, to the innovation. So this is related as well with the CTO. The next decisions related with technology has to be approved by the CISOs. So this kind of change was more important than it looks. And what happened now? 2020. Okay. Now this is changing a lot, and every year we are watching on TV things related with artificial intelligence. The machines are gonna end the world. We are watching iRobot, this kind of movies. But what's happening actually? It's true that we have machine learning, we have artificial intelligence, we have quantum computing. Actually, I remember when I was in IBM with IBM Watson as well. And what about security? And this is very important. Imagine that, no, not imagine, actually, this is the reality. What if I tell you that all your passwords are now encrypted by some algorithms that are gonna be break in a few years because of the quantum computers? Maybe all the information that you have encrypted is not gonna be safe enough because our power of computing is growing and growing and growing exponentially, and more than exponentially sometimes. So what about that? The key is that we are starting to see some subjects in the schools and some universities talking about quantum encryption, quantum programming, quantum stuff. So we have an opportunity there, not only for cybersecurity, also for the development world, because new things related with this kind of new technologies are coming up every day. And the other point, if new technology is coming up every day, what about the security of this technology? Probably once I publish a new thing today, I have some days to discover some vulnerabilities. Maybe I could take advantage of some misconfigurations if I was a bad guy, and this kind of stuff. So that's very important. New technology probably trigger new vulnerabilities, and cybersecurity here is a key. And in some cases, the order is not the correct one because we are creating technology and protecting the technology, not creating the technology safe or in a safe way. That's why another path to follow in a career path could be the SecDevOps, not the security development, because that is a key, and the security by default could be the difference for the future, could be the key as well. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna read a bit the chat. Okay. Okay. So, oops. Coming back. How it is possible? And I'm gonna take back the pool that we had before about a lot of people here would like to be hacker in the future. So what about this? How is it possible that the big banks are trying to hire hackers, or not how is this possible, how the hackers could be created to apply to these job positions. I actually would like to make this question to you. What do you think? You can put it directly in the chat. Don't worry about that. So how is possible that the banks and a lot of companies are asking for hackers if the path that you need to be hacker is not legal? So my question is moving or going beyond, are the companies trying to hire cyber criminals? Okay. Yes, studying a lot, practicing much more. That's very good, Sergio. So actually the second part of your sentence, practicing, practicing, and practicing. And the next question is, how can we practice to be hacker? How can we practice to break the rules? How can we practice to break the walls of the companies? Yes, white hat, okay. Testing vulnerabilities, that's correct. And how can we test vulnerabilities of a company, for instance, if we don't have permission? How can we practice for real? Having a college degree in cybersecurity, that's a very good one. Actually, in Spain, I only know one, or that's complicated because we don't have, and these job offers in some cases are asking for 10 years of experience hacking. Oh, yeah, certifications, okay. Pen testing, VPNs, very good. OSINT, yes. So my point is the next one. What about this? Do you know the difference between hackers and cyber criminals? These two concepts. For me, I'm gonna explain it to you. For me, both of them have a lot of knowledge in cybersecurity, but hackers use it for good purposes, and cyber criminals are using this knowledge for bad purposes. And that's the difference. And by the way, probably if you start your path in cybersecurity, at some point you're going to have to take the decision. What side do you choose? Like Star Wars, right? So I remember when I was starting, I always made my hacking stuff or whatever for good purposes. I had to take decisions actually, because once you have the knowledge to break um, yeah, limits, right, to break the rules, to make or some stuff that nobody knows, or maybe you are the only one that have discovered one new vulnerability, a zero-day exploit, for instance. So you have to take this decision. Of course, my recommendation always, if you want to sleep well, hackers, good side, always. You can protect, and we need hackers to protect the world. Okay, I'm reading a bit. Yes, very good one, Ricardo. Ricardo is saying in the chat that the creative thinking, and that's very important, because in some cases, actually, I'm going to tell you about a friend that I have. I have a friend that he didn't know how to program very well, but he knew a bit technology in general a bit. And I remember that this guy is able to hack websites only watching the source code of the website. Of course, not very complex websites, but he made it. And he had several examples with the screenshots. And he didn't know how to program websites. He didn't know about very technical stuff. And how is this possible? Because he was very creative. So at the end, if you think different, if you think out of the box and you have this kind of abstraction, you could be hacker even if you don't have a very technical background. That's a very good point, Ricardo. Thank you very much as well. And what about this? What do you think about this? So this kind of news are happening a lot. And actually, my question is, if this is on the news, on the breaking news, for instance, every day or whatever, what about the things that we are not detecting? Actually, any of you could say that right now your device, your mobile phone is not hacked right now? Probably we don't know it. And 100% of security doesn't exist. And also the opposite. Like you cannot assure or that right now you have not been hacked or someone is watching through your camera. So this girl, 11 years old, in 10 minutes changed the election results in Florida, is saying this week. So this news. So this is happening. This could happen, and not only in the US. I have seen several examples, and I remember I was in Bern, in Switzerland, with a woman that was trying or making, actually not trying, making some change in in several elections in several countries. And this was in a public event, and she was saying how can or how could this be possible, and if she made it or not. Okay, okay. So how could I start in the world of cybersecurity? But for me, it's very important legally, always legally. And this is the point. For me, these are the key points that you need to learn if you want to be hacker, if you want to learn cybersecurity, or to become the hacker of the future, like this presentation. First one, training. And you were saying before that training in a very practical way. If you want to know how to hack a website, you have to try to hack websites, but always with permission, always under control, always in some scenarios where you can play, you can break, and nothing is going to happen. Okay, but very important, practice, practice, practice. In the technology world, if you don't touch, probably you're not going to learn. Second, the community. In this world is very, very important as well to create community. You have to go to events, you have to make friends in Telegram, in another social networks. There are a lot of groups that are talking about cybersecurity, providing advices and that stuff. So very important, make friends, share knowledge. And by the way, if you are working in a company, and this is changing a lot, maybe 10 years ago or 15 years ago, if you were the CISO of a bank and you are hacked, probably you wouldn't say anything to anybody. But now, and maybe you're not going to believe that, it's very, very common to see that a lot of CISOs are sharing information about, hey, I have been hacked right now, please help, to the competitors. And imagine Pepsi and Coca-Cola, several banks in Spain, whatever, or in all around the world in the US. And a lot of companies at this level, like Pepsi or Coca-Cola, are sharing this kind of knowledge because it's very important, because sometimes you're going to be the victim, but maybe right now is your competitor. If you help to your competitor and you share the knowledge and you share the kind of attacks that are coming to this industry, the next time that you were hacked, probably your competitor is going to help you as well. So share information, share the kind of attacks that you are receiving is very, very important. That's why we can see several governments, several private companies getting a lot of information to share this in a public way, in an open source communities, and in several websites. Okay, you are talking about Windows right now in the chat, iPhones, Android, right? What is safer? What do you think? If you have to choose, what would you choose? Windows, Linux, Mac? I can see that you are talking about this in the chat right now. So, and I think it's a good point. No answers?
Also,
Linux, Katarina? Yep.
Sorry, Enrique, they were also asking about this in the question. They asked, like, what do you think is the most secure one? So I think they are really curious about this one.
I think that's a tricky question, actually, because if you are a designer, maybe the best thing for you is Mac, or if you are system administrator, maybe you are using Linux. And so I think the key point is the purpose. And by the way, probably, and we are watching that there are more vulnerabilities, or not more vulnerabilities, more attacks focused on Windows. So if we bear that in mind, we can say that Windows is not that safe. But as many people is changing to Mac or to iOS, we are watching that a lot of attacks are coming up to these new the operative systems. So for me, there is not an answer. There's not an answer, because sometimes you need to use some operative systems, depending on the purpose, depending on the network where you are, depending on the perimeteral systems. And so that's why it's a tricky question. Actually, I'm using all of them. I have virtual machines, I have Windows, I have Linux, I have some things with Mac for special purposes. The key point always is to have everything well configured. Take a minute, update everything. That typical pop-up that all of us are saying, discard, 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 and it's a security update. Maybe you have to do it right now. Every time that you have to update your operative system, it doesn't matter if that's Linux, Windows, whatever, update it always, well configured. And if you need to use it, at the end, sometimes you don't have choices as well. Commodore AS400. I was in IBM. I know those operative systems as well. Set, right? So, okay. Third point, very important one, abstraction. And this is very important. And this is related with the example that I was talking about before about my friend. Maybe you are not a guru in cybersecurity, in technology in general, but you are very creative. You like this world. You have passion. If you have passion and you like it, you have a possibility. It's possible to be a hacker, even if you are not a super expert in technology in general. Okay? And the curiosity. And this is very, very important. And I think there is a difference here between people that like cybersecurity only because they would like to know about something else, or people that really have that passion, that curiosity. They want to learn more. Maybe if you are in Ironhack learning cybersecurity, you come home and you keep working, keep researching about cybersecurity, you keep programming new stuff, new scripts to hack several stuff. These kind of people normally is the people that are incredible hackers in the future. These guys that have this kind of passion, curiosity to get more and more and more knowledge, because at this world, every time that you learn something related with IoT, artificial intelligence, machine learning, related with cybersecurity, is a new world that you have in front of you. So cybersecurity is everywhere, and you have to be prepared or to have base knowledge about everything in general a bit, and maybe you want to be specialized in something in particular and go through this path. So moving on here. This is happening as well, and this is related with the amount of people that is working in cybersecurity without enough knowledge. And not only that, this is related about the amount of jobs that are not going to be fulfilled because there are no people. There are no hackers. We need more hackers. We need more people specialized in cybersecurity. And this is estimated for the year 2020, 2022, 2021. So more than 2 million people or more than 2 million positions are going to be opened and no one is going to cover it. Okay. So yes, if you are looking for a job, cybersecurity is your career path. Okay. Perfect. And I'm going to talk about Hackrocks, my company. What is exactly Hackrocks? We are a cybersecurity learning platform where you can practice, you can break, you can learn, and we have divided the knowledge areas in challenges, academy, and learning paths. What's the meaning of challenges? Challenges is something where you have to hack in a very practical way, in a legal way, and in several scenarios that we have created based on real situations and created by hackers. We have very good people creating scenarios, people that has been working in the area of cybersecurity a lot of years. And with the challenges, you can get points. You have several levels as well. And you can get increase your position in the ranking that we have. You can get badges certifying that you have learned this and this and this. But also, if you like to read only, if you want to go directly to the theory, and then when you know the concepts, practice and go to the challenges, you can do it directly in the academy. The academy is more theory, typical theory, but it's very important as well because if, for instance, we have some challenges related with cryptography. If you don't have a knowledge before going maybe to a very complex challenge related with cryptography, maybe you are going to be a bit lost, but not always. Not always. And learning paths. What's the concept of learning path? Learning path is something very important for us because our academic team has prepared something something that you can follow. So we have combined theory challenges, theory challenges, whatever, in order that you can follow this path and we can guide you to learn cybersecurity with the order that we need is the best or is the best approach to learn. Okay. So I'm gonna change this window right now, and I'm gonna make a very quick walkthrough about Hackrocks. So basically, as I was saying, we have several categories, by the way, because this is not only to play and that's all. We have created the categories based on the IEEE, this organization. I invite you to look for this on Google or in other, like DuckDuckGo, maybe, information about these organizations, because we have created these categories to follow or to guide the people to learn cybersecurity with a base with something more academic, you know. So if I go down, we have the challenges. This is an example actually of a challenge. You have the points, you have the level. If I go down, we have the learning path. Okay, this is an example, identity management. Why not? The academy with the theory. And this is very important for me, the mentors. As I said, to be hacker is very important, the community that you create, and you have to talk with people, you have to go to events, and you have to help others to learn the things that you already have, okay, or that you already know. That's why we have created the figure of mentor. What is a mentor? Imagine that you are in the challenge number 3 and you are stuck in the number 4. Maybe you can ask for help to the people that is in the number 5, but at the same time, you can help people that is stuck in the number 3. So that way, we have created this kind of community, and actually, we have a lot of people helping each other, and it's good fun to see that the people. Not good fun is really impressive. See that the people is helping others to learn the things that they already know. And if I go down, of course, we have a ranking with your flag. I invite you to put your flag on the top one of the ranking. And badges. Imagine that you are going to apply to Oracle, for instance, in a position related with data security. Maybe you would like to have the data security badge at the maximum level to be able to go to the interview and say, hey, I have this from Hackrocks, and this is the level that I have. So try me. And by the way, I'm talking with several people in the recruitment departments from human resources, and in the roles related with hacking, they are not reading only the CV that you have, the resume. They are trying to make you live hack something in front of them. Like, hey, I have this website. What would you do? How can we hack this website? How would you scan the ports of this website or of this server? How can we move laterally on this network? And that's happening. And sometimes it's more important in the world of cybersecurity what you learn and not only the title that you have. Okay. And basically, this is the platform that we have right now. I have here the mentoring manager. I am helping people. Some people is helping me. I have the ranking here. This is real right now in hackrocks.com. This guy is the number 1 global always. And in the monthly ranking, we have right now people that, 1 second, here. And we have people as well that, yes, in 20 days, D4Y35 is the number 1 with this amount of points. Okay? So I'm going to put an example about a challenge. This is a challenge, for instance, here. And as you can see here, we have some histories or some stories, sorry, on every challenge. A challenge is not going to be hack this website. Everything is going to be based on real situations like this one. We have some agents, someone that is trying to help, someone that is trying to break something to get a success at some mission. You have here additional material. You can download it. I've been working a lot on this challenge. And some clues. What's happening here? You could get 60 points. If I use a clue, I'm going to lose 6. If I ask for help, maybe I'm going to lose 30 points. But at the end, I'm going to solve the challenge. And here, I need to put the token and validate it. That easy. But what if I want to go to the academy? Because I would like to start with the theory. Okay, introduction to cybersecurity, because I don't have a lot of knowledge, whatever. Okay, we can try it. We can test, or maybe phishing. I don't know, whatever. Okay, so These are some examples. Bank of America, always based on real situations normally. Okay. Yeah. If I go to learning path, I'm going to start maybe introduction to cryptography. Okay, I have this lesson, this challenge, more challenges, lessons, maybe this one. Okay, let's see, I'm going to continue. I have to decrypt this message. This is a radio. It looks like a radio dial. Okay, I have used some clues. Okay, and also I have my dashboard. As you can see here, my dashboard is empty because I am part of Hackrocks. It's not fair if I have several points or ranking, but here I can follow my knowledge. Sorry, my learning paths, my challenges, my activity, news related with cybersecurity, what I have in progress, what I have completed. Okay, one challenge over here. Awesome. So I invite you to be here in the ranking, and you can test it. This is free for some period of time. If you like it, you can go. If you don't like it, or if you only like to test the free challenges, whatever, you can test. If you like it, you can go pro. If you go pro, you have more possibilities, of course. But a lot of people here is trying. They are enjoying it. We have several feedback talking about some challenges, new ideas. We are open, of course, to keep improving also with the community. Okay. So here, right now, we have 10 minutes for questions, 10 minutes to talk about the career in cybersecurity, how to study cybersecurity, how to, I don't know, whatever you want, I'm here to help. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to stop my sharing.
I think we have a lot of questions in the questions and answers. So if you want,
okay,
we can start there. I see that the one with more votes is, do you go to a deep web forum to keep up with the most recent hack tools? And then asks.
Very good question. I have done this at some point, actually not deep web, actually dark web, just to try, just to test whether this is real or not. And I can tell that is real. In the dark web, there are a lot of stuff related with hacking, very zero-day exploits and that stuff. My advice is that if you don't control 100% what you are doing in the dark web, don't go there. Don't go there because you could have problems with the police, FBI, whatever. And on the other hand, normally, if you go to the dark web and you find something very, very easy to buy, maybe it's a trap. Be careful with that. And actually, because these kind of groups in the dark web, if you want to buy this kind of stuff, you have to give something as well. So imagine that I have discovered a zero-day exploit. Okay, I go to a community, to a dark community, in cyber criminals community. I provide my knowledge. They accept me in the community. And once I am there, I can start to negotiate. So it's not that easy to find these kind of people that really have good tools for hacking. And I'm telling this not because I'm saying that is something that you could do. This is something that you could do, but for good purposes. And I mean, I know that several banks all around the world are doing this. They are getting the trust of the cyber criminals. They are infiltrating people in those groups in order to be updated around new stuff that is coming up. Imagine that you are the responsible of the security of a bank and you are on one of these groups and you say to the people, hey guys, I would like to buy 100 of credit cards stolen from this bank. Maybe they have them, you know? So that's why at some point it's not bad to know about how to dark web, but it's very important to know exactly and 100% with any doubt what you are doing.
Good. So,
but very good question.
Yeah, thank you, Andre. I think Rafael asked, how does it work to get a certification after we finish the course we are supposed to get it? How long does it take? I'm not sure if he asked about Ironhack or Hackrocks.
Go ahead with Ironhack, Paula. I was considering this in Ironhack. But...
Yeah, but the certification, well, the course is 12 weeks. And after that, you'll get the certification by Ironhack and will be given to you. And then imagine if you ask about Hackrocks. Hackrocks is a community where you can do challenges. So I'm not sure. Well, you can get badges, right? like
Yes,
not
we have the batches. You can share it. You can use it. Yeah, of course.
yeah,
But we are working as well in some official certifications. Yeah.
yeah, but it's a good way to train what you learn and keep putting your knowledge to test. Also, next one, what is
Yeah.
the
By the
best?
way, by the way, I would like to say that
Yeah,
it's important to know that in the cybersecurity area, it's very important what you know. And remember, not always the amount of certifications that you have, because if you go to an interview, probably they are going to test you. They are
yeah.
not going to read only the certifications. So be careful with that, because a lot of people is getting crazy with that, but at
Yeah.
the end they don't know anything. So
This
careful with that.
this is really true. In general, in the digital world, like we see it a lot in Ironhack. I myself, I studied data analytics, for example, and at the end of the day, it's important what you know and what projects you can tackle. And that's why Enrique was saying that it's really, really important to practice and like make sure that you know how to do pretty much anything that you want to do, so you can get the job that you want, or you can get involved in the projects that you want to do later, and not that much about I have this certification and this course, etc., etc. Okay, next one. What is the best countermeasure one can provide in defending against attacks on passwords?
That's a very good one. First of all, it's true that if we have a very strong and very long password, it's going to be more complicated to break if you use brute force. But in some cases, even if you have a 100 characters password, if someone delete or not delete, sorry, steal a database, it doesn't matter, because the password is going to be there as well. Normally it's encrypted. That's why it's important to have it longer. But it's not only that, it's how do you protect it? Do you have a password manager like Dashline, one password, and so on? Do you have two-factor authentication? Because in some companies, and this is something that I learned with a client, a username and a password is not enough security to protect some actives of the company. So having that in mind, that a username and a password is not safe enough, what's next? What's the next level that you have? So for me, the best advice related with passwords is you need to have something else, a two-factor authenticator. Okay, this could be an SMS. It's not the most recommendable. Maybe another app like Google Authenticator or Authy that provide you a code that is expiring every minute, something like that. Okay, but always something else, not only username and password. When it's possible, not always is possible, by the way.
I see that Luis in the comment says the best password you can have is password, because no one will ever think you could be that.
And by the way, I saw a comment in the previous question related with the UV keys, and that's a very good one. There are several keys, literally, like I have some of them over here actually. Okay, it's fine. Some keys that is like a USB, and you plug it in your laptop, and once you have this in your laptop, this triggers something or put directly a string with a token or with a password. So that's useful as well. A password that is in a token, in a physical, not sorry, in a token, in a pen drive, in a physical pen drive. Use it only for authentication. And actually, if I'm not wrong, the UV keys are allowing to have the fingerprint on the USB. So you have to connect the USB, put your fingerprint, and the password is auto-filled. So yeah, that's a good one.
That's cool. So Ezra asked this many times in the chat. I saw this before, and he wants to know, what do you think about a company like Darktrace?
Yeah, Darktrace. Yeah.
What
I think, yes, I think it's interesting to have artificial intelligence and cybersecurity, not only with Darktrace, also I remember in QRadar, the product from IBM, there is an option that is Watson for cybersecurity, and basically is artificial intelligence for cybersecurity. That's very interesting. And actually, I have an example about one client that was discovering that the people was leaving the company 1 week before they was leaving. And how is this possible? Because the artificial intelligence was detecting that a huge amount of data was not stealing, but was moving out of the company in a pen drive, in Gmail, Yahoo, whatever. And 7 days later, the employee disappeared from the database. So the machine, the artificial intelligence related with cybersecurity, triggered an alert saying, wait a minute, be careful. This guy is stealing data, is stealing data, and probably in 1 week is going to disappear from the database. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if you are firing people. I don't know if the people is leaving the company, but this guy is stealing information and probably is going to leave. So that's very interesting. And things related with Darktrace that is analyzing all the time the darknet, different websites. I think it's very important. I really like it actually, but sometimes you have to decide how many people do you have in your team. Do you have a lot of hands, or sorry, enough hands to manage all the security tools that we have? Because I'm saying this because I saw this in several clients that they said to me, we have firewall, we have artificial intelligence, we have something like Darktrace, and this kind of company, whatever. We have 20 dashboards, and we are 7 people. So sometimes it's more important not only to collect a lot of information, but how do you manage all that information that you are collecting? How can you automatically, thanks to the artificial intelligence, you can trigger these alerts to respond to a cyber attack and to prevent it?
Cool. Okay, let's do maybe like one or two more. But what is the difference between an average hacker and a professional hacker?
For me, knowing a lot of hackers and very good hackers, I would say the creativity, the much you are able to think out of the box, the, the best hacker you are probably. Because I was like I was saying before, imagine that you are a very creative person, and at the same time you are very good in technology, in programming, wherever. That's the perfect combination. But for me, that's the difference, because sometimes we are the average hacker could be that one that is copy from internet and script and paste in the script, execute 1 2 3 next. I don't know what I'm doing. The professional hacker maybe is that one that know exactly what he's doing all the time, because probably we have a lot of people connected right now. Probably several people here has tested or has tried, sorry, Kali Linux. In Kali Linux, I know it because I'm using it all the time. I can see several scripts that if you press 1 enter, 2 enter, 3 enter, you can hack a system. So at some point, these script kiddies are very close to the average hackers. No? So I would like to say that an average hacker is not that script kiddie that is doing stuff without knowing what he's doing. No? So for me, the key is the abstraction, the creativity. Think out of the box. Be able to say, wait a minute, instead of trying to break and break and break this door, why don't we look for another door? This kind of thinking.
There is one person that asked if the Hackrocks site is only in Spanish, which I know it's not, but maybe you want to show.
No, Hackrocks, we have Hackrocks in Spanish and in English. By the moment, these two languages. And we have people connected in Hackrocks from South America, North America, Europe, Asia. We have people from all around the world. And actually, we are collaborating with the police here in Spain, and we are going to host an event as well with the police in Spain to teach for free to all the citizens that we have in Spain and also all around the world, because it's going to be in English as well. So, yeah. Follow us, by the way, in our social media to be updated about these kind of things, because we are going to start very soon this event with the Spanish police, and it's completely free as well.
I was going to ask how can they know about this event, but yeah, follow social media.
Actually, I can put the URL, by the way, here if you want. There you go, in the chat.
Okay, so, well, maybe there are a lot of questions, but it's 7 p.m., so I just want to go, like, wrap up a little bit everything we talked about today. Remember that to become the hacker of the future, as Enrique said, you have to practice a lot, do a lot of stuff. I don't know if you want to highlight some other key points that you talked about today, Enrique.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen because I can see that there are a lot of questions. So please do not hesitate to write me.
Yep.
In my social media, maybe it's fine on Instagram, whatever. I can respond. So just to summarize, remember, you can be hacker. Of course, you have to study and you have to practice. You have to practice. You have to break things. You have to try in real environments or in something very close to real environments. Better say, sorry. And And remember, if you want to find a job, cybersecurity is a very good place.
No doubt. Also, just a quick reminder, tomorrow we are having the last event of the Cybersecurity Week. We're talking about how to defend networks like a Spartan. I'm sure it's going to be a fun one. So I just wanted to thank Enrique to be with us today and to present your platform. It was really, really interesting. I'm sure everybody will like to try it. And thank you for your advice and for your amazing, for all the stories you told us.
No, thank you everybody for being here and for the invite. It has been a very good moment.
Cool. Well, thank you everybody for being here today. I hope to see you tomorrow, and have a good rest of the day, or good night for everybody that is same time zone as me. Thank you.
Bye bye. Have a good one. Bye.